What is this? It doesn't look like any race I've seen. This is a god's warrior, a creature introduced to this world only for war. The sparring god, He brought in other races to fight for them, their own armies, much like the Majorat or the ICN were introduced to Galenor. When I arrived in Galenor, I spent a long time alone. I didn't know what my future held, what I should do next. Eventually I came upon what I believed was my purpose. I aimed to create a world free of the influence of gods, a world where the inhabitants would not have to fight other beings' wars. So I introduced my own chosen races, humans, gnomes, beings who do not strongly tend towards evil nor good. I chose tribes who had no concept of gods, and I brought them to Galenor to live uninfluenced lives while I retained the balance. I was foolish. My plan would never work. I will continue my tale along the path. Please meet me when we are ready. So what is this? Like, can you see its face? He's got very big arms. Unlike Guthix's race, this creature is clearly a warrior. It almost looks as if it was created for combat. With strong muscles and thick skin, it could have ripped an Aragi to shreds in seconds. The creature is wearing tough armour, bearing the mark of a long-forgotten god. I should have seen it coming. I introduced them to the world. I had a power greater than they had ever seen. The mortal races began to worship me. They built shrines to me, made sacrifices. They waited on my every word. It pained me deeply to see myself becoming what I had always loathed. They should not have been living beneath me, serving me. I wanted them to be free, balanced, to make their own decisions. Knowing my presence was thwarting my efforts, I withdrew into the earth to sleep. But it was not long before the other gods arrived. I feel my strength draining. We're nearly at the end. Oh no. This looks to be the remains of a ruined temple. Some of Guthix's race must have begun to worship the gods who came to this world, creating shrines and temples before becoming caught up in the war that destroyed them. When I ended the war of the gods, I did it with no pleasure. I knew I had already failed. Looking over Galenor, it was like looking at my homeland, the land ravaged, the mortals worshipping a multitude of gods, including myself. The races brought in by the now banished gods remained and disrupted the balance at every turn. Battles raged on in the names of the absent gods. I could banish the gods themselves, but I could not remove the memories of them, the blind faith displayed by their followers. Besides, my own interference would only disrupt the balance more. I have disproportional power, more than any single being should have. I will wait for you further up the path, okay? The tablet stands alone among the ruins. The clarity of the writing indicates that Guthix has a strong memory of this tablet. Perhaps it was something he saw every day, or something dear to him. Along the path stands a house, suggesting this could be a way marker or sign. I could have prevented this, Chris. I have been awake since you triggered the alarm. I knew what would happen. You could have stopped Slisk. Why didn't you? Chris, I have been the most powerful being on Galenor since my arrival. Of course I could have stopped Slisk if I had desired to, but I embrace my death. It must occur, if the world is to be balanced. If the gods return, another war is inevitable. Galenor must be returned to peace before war destroys it, before it becomes like my own home. A dead, desolate wasteland. Galenor must be protected, Chris, not by me, by a mortal, someone with the power to defend against the gods, but not the power to be one. Ah, sorry, the pain is becoming stronger. Please enter the house, my home. I have so little time. Please listen carefully, Chris. I have already shared my power with you, chosen you as one of my creatures, so that you may reach this point. When this is over, you will find yourself with even more power, power you may use to defend against gods. I know you allied yourself against me, but I also know you do not want your world to perish. If the gods are not stopped, your world will be destroyed, and you along with it. You must be a guardian of this world, Chris. Galenor must be free. I will do as you ask. I will use your powers to protect Galenor from the gods. No, it would be better ruled by a god, and I will use your powers to aid them. You are foolish, Guthix. I will use your powers to strive for godhood myself. No, I believe in Gothics now. Apparently. I'm glad to have found such a noble mortal as you, Chris. My blessing is with you. Just getting in bed. My family wait for me. Remember your purpose, Chris. Forget me. Can't forget Gothics. He's a god. Oh no. It was a Majorat, the one called Slisk. I feel it. He must have waited for our backs to be turned, for our defences to be down. Slisk struck a killing blow to Gothics before I could reach them. There was no need for murder. And you trusted this world when he said he would abide by his word. Slisk would release me just to steal my victory. I should have known he could not be trusted. That's enough. Do you really think it is time for this bickering? I wish I could turn my camera a little bit more. Gothics is dead. His edicts are broken. The world is unprotected. The wars could begin again. There will not be another war. Indeed, and my choice of God will come out victorious. There will not be another war. I would like to believe you, Chris, but how do we have the power to stop it? The gods will return and there is no one to stop them. I can stop them. In his last moments, Gothic spoke to me. He granted me... Is this we're going to fall and I'm going to die? This was not of our doing. What is going on now? Oh well. Oh shit, man. Saradomin, everyone's getting involved. Silence, Ziliana. It's not right to revel in bloodshed. What has been done could not have been helped. Guthix was not an evil god, like myself. He yearned to make the world a better place for those who dwell upon it, but his notion of balance was flawed, and his presence meant that I could not return. It was not an easy decision, but Guthix had to die. But, Ziliana, that does not mean we should gloat over the events here. Yeah, shut up, Ziliana. You were alone with Guthix in his last breaths. Tell me, do you know who I am? I know who you are, Saradomin. I can't turn my camera down, I want to get a better look. This is annoying. You are a benevolent god of justice, kindness and wisdom. I know you are a god, but I have yet to decide what I think of you. I am glad that after my extended absence there are those who still know me for who I am. Now much has happened here today, with the edicts broken, the world will soon enter a new age. More gods will be coming. I apologize, human. I do hope we meet again, but for now I must ask you to leave. I have much to do here. Wait, what are you going to do? Ha! Resistant to your power. I like the splash effect. My journey back may have temporarily weakened me, I suppose, but still. Human, did Guthix tell you anything in his last moments? Wisdom, secrets, spells? I would advise you to tell me now. Or what? He gave me some of his power so I can guard the world against gods. He gave me some of his power to use as I see fit. He gave me some of his power so I may reach godhood myself. Well, I'm supposed to guard the world, so... Is that so? Well, you've been given a generous gift. Clearly Guthix saw something in you. Consider your choices, human. Guthix may have presented you with the world as he sees it, but that is not the only view. There are other, more worthy paths. No one good would wish for another war of the gods, but sometimes violence is necessary before you can achieve a great peace. It will be wise to ensure that you are on the right side. I will leave you now to think on that. No doubt we will meet again, Guardian. Yeah, you guys can go home, I'm alright. Guthix is dead. We have little time to mourn, Anjuna. Saradomin has returned. If you had to mount a defence to protect ourselves. Guthix trusted you. I believe your heart is in the right place. You should have these. So we're getting gifts now. What? You've completed The World Awakes. What is this? This sage as an Adra's gift. We will create a shrine here with Guthix. His values will not be forgotten. You should return here if you feel you need to mourn. You've unlocked 5 new combat abilities: Sunshine, Death Swiftness, Balance Strike, Natural Instinct, and Guthix Blessing. You may find these in the ability book. Let's have a see.